The highest form of democracy. What is the highest form of democracy? It's not voting for someone who can place their votes on behalf of you in parliament. Meaning, every term we vote for politicians who have their say in parliament in regarding to everything in our lives. They vote yea or nay. They vote yes or no in every single country of the world. This is not the highest form of democracy. The highest form of democracy is when the people in the parliament they come up with ideas and suggestions to make our lives better. And we, the voters, have the ultimate say in the decision making process in the parliament. So for example, if they want to increase the salaries, they want to provide more jobs, they want to decrease the expenditure for the military, then the citizens of the country, they would have a mobile application on their phone and they would have the right to vote on every aspect of governance. This means that the people have the ultimate say and decision making and part of the decision making process in what goes on in parliament. Because every term we have politicians in almost every country in the world who want to run for elections, who want to be there as your voice in parliament, and they come up with lies. They promise more jobs, they promise more money, they promise the healthcare, education, etc. And it's always the same theatrical scenario, and most of them are liars and never fulfill their promises because the system that governs us in the world we live in today is not the highest level of democracy. The highest level of democracy is when we utilize the phones that we have in our pockets to become part of the decision making process in parliament. It's not going to take too much of our times when we have an article to read on healthcare, for example, on military expenditure, for example. And we are the decision makers in what goes on in parliament. So let me give you an example. The United States government spends approximately 900 billion US dollars a year on military. If just half of the 900 billion US dollars was used for entrepreneurship and the creation of businesses, this would empower the economy in the United States. This would strengthen the economy in the United States. This would strengthen the US dollar. And this would make everyone richer at the long run, because the more businesses you have, the more competition there is, the more money's flowing through, the more jobs there are, the more people have money to spend. So it's an economic policy that is rooted in a political ideology. This political ideology is called the highest level of democracy. Every government just make a mobile application and let your citizens be the ones who vote in parliament, not some puppets who come up there with lies after lies after lies and never fulfill their promises. The presidents are always going to be the same. The untouchables, we call them. The leaders always going to be the same. The untouchables, we call them. We're talking about the parliament, the decision makers. They should come up with the ideas, and we, the citizens, vote on these ideas. And that's the highest form of democracy.